Did tell you about our quickfire segment. Today we have the distinct honor of speaking to Mr. Barnaba Korir. When you talk about Chepsaita cross country or the great Chepsaita run, he is the face of it. He is the man who wields the powers at Athletics Kenya, and he is here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I'm made to understand you're a very powerful man at AK. Is that true?
I think that's an assumption.
It's an assumption.
It's an assumption.
But lisemwalo lipo.
It depends on when you are working and you're seeing your face seen all the time. Maybe somebody perceives that. But of course, the most powerful person is the president.
Is the president?
Yes.
Lieutenant General retired?
Yes.
He was to be here. Where is he?
This morning he had a visitor from Wall Mountain Running. He was arriving this morning. He had to take him for breakfast and then for a press conference at 10 o'clock. So he's very busy, but he would have loved to be here. He gives his apologies.
So you have his brief. You have his brief.
I have his brief and I have his blessings.
Okay, good. Let's start it off. How far are we? The great Chepsaita cross country coming up in less than a month, if I'm not wrong. And of course, how far are we with the preps?
The preparation is going on very well. This is the second edition of the Chepsaita Great Cross Country Run, which is called the label. Last year it was on the 2nd of December. This year it's going to be the 7th of December. The planning is going on very well. We changed the course a little bit, and it is really fantastic. If you visit the area, you will not recognize that it's the same place as last year. Yes.
So the course is ready. How many athletes are we looking at here, maybe locally and internationally? How does it look so far?
It looks so far. In fact, the race has grown so big, and we give thanks to the patron, Farouk Ibet, who was really ensure that this event has been promoted. We have so far more than 5,000 athletes registered, but the main events, which is the senior men and women and also under 20 men and women, they are almost full. For the men, especially the senior ones, we have to block 50 spaces for international runners because it's already 550, and the maximum that the competition can take is 600. We have at the moment 550. 50 positions is almost closed now.
Almost closed?
Yes, now.
Almost closed or reserved for international?
50 is remaining slots, which is reserved for international. Elite athletes, all of them. The women are 416 now. We have about 200 remaining. And I'm sure that by next week we are going to have a full event, full house. For under 20, it's about the same. We are 200 remaining because the maximum that we capped is 600 in those international events.
Okay.
For the others, because we have 18 categories, starting from 5 years to 7, all the way to 98 years, and that's specifically to make sure that we involve the communities. So those ones are almost full. We cap those ones at 800, especially the young ones from 5 years to 15, because now the community has more numbers than in the others, so we gave them more chances to go here.
When you talk of the 50 elite athletes, probably by now, do you have the names of some of the big stars we expect on our course? Yes,
we have the top athletes from Kenya. We are going to release that in our press conference so that we can give the clear indications of who is going to run. Of course, Eliud Kipchoge is going to be there. It is going to be there. And then
as
now...
participants or as guests?
Yes, as guests also and participants. But we have the list that is going to come out this week. The international athletes, we have Ethiopians, we have Ugandans, Moroccans, we have Germans, and we have French and British, so that we combine now and send all the information that is necessary for those who have already registered. We wanted to make sure that we fill it and then release it immediately.
Okay.
Yes.
You talk of this event having gained a new status, which is a gold label, and that's up the ranks. What does that mean? And probably, how does it change the competition in terms of the course and even in terms of monetary awards for the winners?
Yes, you know, when we talk about the labels, we have gold label, silver label, and bronze label. That is categorized by World Athletics. And the reasons why is that because there are stages that you have to meet conditions for those events. For the gold label, we have only two. We have Chepsaita and we have Sirikwa Cross Country. The gold label requires that you have a minimum of 6 countries taking part. And then, of course, the prize money has to be accepted by World Athletics. The prize money for this event is huge. Considering that this is one of the new events. And the prize money for the senior men and women is 300,000. Number 1, number 2 is 200, number 3 is 150, and it goes all the way to number 15. And 2 is 200, number 3 is 150, and it goes all the way to number 15, and number 15 is 10,000. For the junior categories, we have the prize money from 60,000, 50, 40, and it goes all the way to number 30. We extended to number 30, and that one, number 30, is getting 6,000. So the prize money is very good. The others, especially for young kids, we call kids athletics. We have those ones now in kind. We actually put the price tag, but then of course it is not going to be cash, but we'll give them in kind, maybe for books, and the others we'll have to decide on that one. When we come now, the seniors over 40 to 98, we have also prize money that is given to them, and that is basically to meet the numbers that is from that community. Patron decided that the community has to benefit the surrounding communities, so that now there's some support that is given to be part and parcel of that race, so that most of the runners that are coming from there, especially the seniors and the kids athletics, will be coming from there, and they benefit from that.
So you've given a lot of statistics. Basically, if I heard you right, the prize money has more than doubled. I think last year it was around 150, 120 thereabouts.
Yes.
Now we're talking about around 300 for the elite category.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, you've mentioned the community in Chepsaita, and probably what does this mean for the locals who will be hosting this, and of course our status as a country hosting a gold label event?
This is a very important event, and it is really very interesting how much that's grown. We are going to have a guest from the president of CA, that is from African Athletic Federation. We have also a case from World Athletics also, invited by our president. So it means a lot. When it comes now to events like that, then it brings on board the communities who are there. They engage, they involve themselves. They will have also they can sell their wares, their food, and everything, so that it benefits them economically, so it can grow. And then when we look at what happened last year, the support that we got also was immense, to the extent that Safaricom, which was a sponsor and also is going to be the sponsor this year, gave support to construction of an administrative block in Chief Criminal Secondary School. To the tune of
running for education. I think that's actually the theme.
We are going to talk about that, yes. The administration block, that cost 70 million. Now, as a result of that, then the patron realized that this has to be something that we do every year to support a certain aspect of the community. And that's why now we came up with the idea of running for education. Running for education means that when we are going now for this competition, it is not only that people are going to run for prize money. We have a sponsorship of scholarship for 1,000 students. 1,000 students. And the total amount that will go into that education is 10 million. So every school will have 10 athletes, given 10,000 times 1,000 is 10 million. So it will cover the entire area, those who are going to school, especially secondary schools, so that the community will benefit from that. So this theme is running for education, goes hand in hand with the programs that Athletics Kenya has been doing. Especially now, athletes, they run to nurture their talent, at the same time participate in educational activities that will ensure that as they grow, they kill two birds with one stone. They manage their educational activities, and also now, when it comes now to running, they nurture their talent, so they go together. And the idea is to continue all the way to university, as also our minister had said, that education, especially the university, should be encouraged to participate more in sports, so that they can ensure that sports activities can take root through the educational.
This 10 million is from who? Is it from the partner Safaricom? Is it from AK? Is it from the patron?
Yes, this 10 million is now from the sponsors that are going to, they have already done that. The patron has ensured that we got sponsorship from different sponsorship. We have CBA, of course, the main sponsor being Safaricom. And not only is Safaricom sponsoring for Run for Education, it is also sponsoring medical camps that will be taking place. So the benefits from this event is not only for running for athletes to gain money or to gain education, but the communities now are the main beneficiaries because medical screening is done, and then also those who might need medical assistance in advance are given that opportunity so that they can know exactly where the health position is.
Absolutely. And let's shift gears a little bit. This week, or rather last week, you had a guest at AK in the frame of one Kipchumba Murkomen. What did you guys discuss there in that meeting?
What we discussed, of course, was to introduce him to athletics so that he can understand. It's not only about the national office that we were discussing. We talked about the grassroots. You know, Athletics Kenya has got complete structures all the way from counties, sub-counties, regions, all the way to national. So the minister had to understand exactly what is AK. You know, we hear so many things, stories about AK that, AK this, but you see, majority of the Kenyans don't understand exactly the structures of our institution. And our CS really now got to know what are the structures, got to know who are the leaders from the grassroots, because it's not only about our President General Tuwei or ourselves at the national office. The pillars of Athletics Kenya comes from the grassroots. And that is why Athletics Kenya has been so successful because of the leadership from the grassroots, the participation of practically everybody through structures that has already been set. And that's why even regions, institutions that are the pillars of the Athletics Kenya are actually the ones who are running the institution. It's not only coming from the national office, it emanates from the grassroots all the way to the top, and now it holds together Athletics Kenya. Okay,
and there's the elephant in the room, and everybody's talking about this, and even Waziri also alluded to it when, actually when he was being grilled for this position, and he said, gentlemen, there must be change of guard. Gentlemen, we must comply to the Sport Act. How is that going so far, the roadmap in the elections and whatnot?
You know, the most unfortunate thing is that we did not come out as Athletics Kenya to tell our story so that the Kenyans can understand. When the Sports Act came into being, we were the first institutions to transit from the old act to the new act. We were the first institution. Athletics Kenya was the first federation to transit it was the first one to be registered. We went for elections, and it was stopped midway. We did not refuse to go for election at any time. Of course, you know what happens in the courts. It kept on going. But then the perception from the Kenyans is that maybe we were delaying it so that we can stay in the office. It's not like that. In fact, our president conducted the first minister who came, the second, the third one, and now the Waziri who is here now. We told them we want to go for elections. Nobody refused for elections.
We are ready for that.
We can go for election tomorrow.
Bring it on tomorrow.
Bring it on tomorrow. The only problem is when you take the matter to the courts, you cannot force yourself to hold elections because that will be breached.
Has to go to logical conclusions.
Logical conclusions. If you go against what the courts have said, you know the consequences. So that is why we will not go for the elections, and nobody has ever refused in Athletics Kenya to go for elections. And I'm sure our CS had seen it for himself when he met all the regional leadership in AK, so that he can understand it is not AK that is refusing for elections. It is because of what has been put, obstacles that have been put in front. But then, of course, the story goes out that it is us who is refusing. Also, I blame ourselves because we did not come out and say exactly what is happening so that the Kenyans can understand that it is not that Athletics Kenya is refusing.
Actually, communication is a major problem, even with the national government. But now, if all is clear for these polls, what's up next for Korir? You are the Nairobi boss. Are you going to defend your seat? Are you going for the big position yourself now that you're the most powerful man there?
No, I told you I'm not the most powerful man. I'm just a worker.
You're just a worker?
I'm just a worker.
Okay.
But you see, of course, I like Nairobi. I'll stick with Nairobi. I have no problem with Nairobi because I want to upgrade Nairobi so that they have good runners from Nairobi.
Why not going up the ladder?
No, that one is another time. Even if I stay there, you see what matters in life. Provided you are given opportunity to work, it's not necessarily that you have to be the leader. But if you are given the opportunity to use your talent, to work, to deliver, that's enough for me.
Before we go back to Chepsaita, femicide, and more so the struggle our athletes are going through. most of the female athletes. You know the cases, there have been so many. Is this a concern to you as AK, and what are you guys doing about it?
It's a major concern, and of course, AK President had already started that some time back, and we are very happy with the government. They have just also came the other day, and they went all over the country. Now, you know, yesterday they concluded in Nyahururu, the government and Athletics Kenya talking to the athletes. But that is not enough. We need to set up structures now, support from the government, and if you look at it, yes, there is a lot of problems athletes are facing, but then you have to see the wider community. You have to see the society itself. That you see, it is not only athletes that are facing problems, it is the entire community that are going to go through that. It's only that with our athletes, it can be, you know, talked about because of the media and everything. But the problem is deeper than only the athletes. But we want, as a federation, led by our president, to make sure that our athletes are safeguarded, and we are putting measures, asking for the government to assist in ensuring that we have also counselors in everywhere, and that is also the beginning is going on now. The CS has already indicated that it's also going to have a meeting with the athletes in Central, in Iten and other areas where they have high concentration of athletes, so that they can discuss with them and find ways and means of assisting them so that they don't end up committing suicide or killing themselves.
Yeah, and it's a major concern, Bernard, because we are talking of suicide, as you've said, we've talked of femicide, alcoholism, and use of drugs because of depression. Some of them are losing millions of their hard-earned money.
It is a major concern because now when you look at the athletes who have made a lot of money, then some of them actually lose a lot of their resources. So it has to start with how to manage their resources, to manage their finance, and then now the interaction between the athletes who are successful with the community. It does not have to be AK alone. We have to go to the communities, the families, what are they doing to ensure that they protect these young athletes. And these young athletes also, when they make money, they get pressures, not only from themselves, but from their families, from their friends, because each and every person requires to have something from this athlete. And they are young, and they are not exposed to having that kind of money. So it completely displaces them, gives them a lot of issues that they don't know how to handle it. So what we have done, and of course through the leadership of the president, is to go now to these camps that we are going, having now also the parents, having also the community. We have also now the counselors, so that we can talk to them when they are young, before they earn any money, so that they understand the pressures. The moment they win money, what are they supposed to do to ensure that they protect themselves? That is what we are doing now, to start from...
Of doping, this other cancer in our sports, not just athletics. But I'll put it to you, because Chepsait is coming. We want to run clean, win clean. What measures have you put in place? And also, you know, the debate that is rocking the country, EDAC, budgetary cuts, they are crying foul. How will they play their role?
I start with ADAC. You know, ADAC already, there is an arm of the government. They have already had discussions. The president of IOC came, met His Excellency the President, and our President, His Excellency, assured IOC President that the money will be availed. The CS, Honorable Murkomen, has already assured ADAC that they will get the money. They have already been given the money to continue until now they get their own money. So that is not even an issue. When it comes to the athletes now, doping, the structures are going there. We have put measures to ensure that before Chepsait, anybody who is going to run there will have gone through certain measures. They have to do registration. Before even they compete, they have to pick the numbers from certain locations that we have given them. And we make sure that anybody that will be competing is clean. And we tell the athletes also that don't try, because at the end of the day, even if you do that, you are going to be caught. So the chances of anybody trying to use substances which are not allowed is diminishing now, because of the support the government has given us, the money they have given to ADAC to run these programs. We have already set up registration for every person who calls themselves an athlete, every coach and every athlete support personnel, so that we know who are these people dealing with athletes, and to ensure that we have zero tolerance in the next few years before the sponsorship elapses. We will ensure that issues of doping will have gone down, and we have measures that will continue into the future.
Okay. This is a conversation we can have even for 1 hour. We can go on and on, but time is running. But before you go, what's the significance of this, and probably your clarion call to the populace, more so in the Great Rift Valley, as we head to Chepsaita?
You know, I was in Eldoret the other day, in the village. And surprisingly, even the villagers, they were asking me, we want to go to Chepsaita. So everybody knows. Mr. Farouk Bed has really emphasized on this. Citizen, as it looks like you have a very big...
Actually, we are big partners in this.
Yes,
you need to acknowledge us as,
yes,
as one of the major sponsors of this.
Yes, Citizen has done so much that everybody knows now. They ask me, oh, we saw you on Citizen, we saw the patron on Citizen, we have seen so-and-so, we want to come to Chepsaita. This is the village. I'm not talking about the Eldoret town. I'm talking about the interior, where everybody now knows about Chepsaita. And this is the way to go. With Citizen supporting, I think I've gone a long way in ensuring that the Kenyans understand what it's all about Chepsaita. And then, of course, the public must know also that this is an opportunity for them to develop. If you go to Chepsaita now, you won't believe it, because the roads have already been developed.
Thanks to these races.
Thanks to this race. The venue itself is an amazing place. Water, I didn't even mention that. The community is receiving free water now. The dam which was there has already been cleaned. The water is pumped. So in a few years to come, you will never even recognize that Chepsaita is like that.
That's the power of sports and the power of Royal Media.
Thank you.
Acknowledge that. Thank you for making time for this, and of course we'll keep this conversation going.
Thank you.
That's Mr. Barnaba Korir. He's the organizing committee, the chairman of the race organizing committee, speaking to us here on Sporty Monday. Remember, Royal Media Services are the official media partners of the Chepsaita cross-country race, which will be taking place on December 7th. So you stay tuned, and of course we'll be giving you more build-up to